My name is Jason Washington, Director of Prince George's County Public Schools Public-Private Partnership Program, welcoming you to the site of the new Adelphi area middle school. As we ask the Lord for a great day, it's incredibly hot. And so to be respectful of everyone, we're going to ask everyone that's speaking to limit your comments to no more than 2 minutes. We'll now get started. So welcome to the second groundbreaking of the Blueprint Schools program. The innovative and first of its kind program, delivering 6 schools across the county in the next 2 years. Due to the hard work and perseverance of many that are here and our partners going forward, we wanted to take a moment to say thank you and to welcome you to celebrate the beginning of this process. Kicking off our program today is Principal Chelsea Hill of Adelphi Elementary School.
Good afternoon. Oh, I have a big mouth, so let me scoot back some. Good afternoon to Dr. Golson and all of our esteemed guests. My name is Chelsea Hill, and I'm the proud principal of the amazing Adelphi Elementary School. This is an exciting event, but a bittersweet event. As we are embarking upon a new middle school, which is the catalyst for 2 new elementary schools, this is where I started in 1993. I was a pre-K teacher. And then 2 decades or so ago, or later, I'm now the principal of this wonderful school. And there are so many stories that are similar to mine from staff members who've been here for 10 years, 15 years, 20, 25, 30. They are in the audience. You can wave your hands because I see you, Ms. Tamu. Don't have your hand down. Ms. Mark. They've dedicated their time, their service to this community. And it's not because of the brick and mortar. I know that we're excited about the building, but when I think about this community, I think about how caring the community is. I think about the dedication that our parents have to their children here, and I think about the times that our staff dedicate to the children. I know I have 2 minutes, but I wanted to share this one story that was shared with the staff on Friday or Wednesday of our last day of school. Miss Villegas, and I know she's here. Where are you, Miss Villegas? There she is. She's sitting in the back. She's our community schools coordinator. She went here in the 90s. And in the first grade, she walked to school on a snowy day with open-toe sandal shoes on, like this beautiful lady has on here. I have open-toe shoes. She walked in the snow to the school. When she got in the building, the teacher, Mr. Krishan, who's not here, who's a fabulous science teacher who still teaches science to this day, asked, "What's wrong?" And she said, "My feet are frozen." Now, that teacher could have said, "Why don't you have on the right shoes? You know it's snowing. I need to call your mom. She doesn't have you prepared for school." But that's not what he did. He took Miss Villegas to a seat. He got blankets, and the rest of the children and himself covered her with blankets and warmed her feet in the classroom. That's the essence of Adelphi. It's caring, it's nurturing, it's a family. And so as we begin to celebrate this new building, I want to make sure that you understand this is sacred ground because we love it, we love this community, and we want what's best for it. So my best wish and my blessing as we move forward is that the children that walk into this new building experience that same love, that same caring feeling that we have experienced over the decades. So thank you very much. Now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing a fabulous scholar that attends Adelphi Elementary School. I'm going to bring up Miss Dulce Admora. Come on up. Dulce Admora. She's like, "Please, Miss Hill, don't leave me." So I'm going to stand next to Dulce because she asked me to. And I said, absolutely. I told her we were dressed alike. You want to open it? Yep, go ahead. It's your time. They'll wait for you.
Hello, public.
Go ahead and ask your question. Go ahead. Ask your questions. Oh, you want me to ask? Oh, I'm not following directions. So it says things to include in my writing. Feelings about the new middle school. How you think it will it be positive for our community? How will the students feel about Adelphi Elementary? What do you hope this new school will bring for the students and the families?
I am feeling a little bad about the new middle school that is beginning built in Adelphi because Adelphi is a good school. I like how they teach and because I studied there for I love the teachers that I have met. They have good hearts. I like them because they teach me to do better things. I think it will impact our community have a middle school because I think there are not some middle schools close to Adelphi or Cherokee. Well, I have felt great at Adelphi Elementary School. Some of the teachers, including Ms. Mawal, Mr. Peterson, Mr. Kalandi, Mr. Mondi, and Ms. Bozeman, treat me so great, and I wish that the people that find them treat them good, including me. I think the new school will be positive for the students because I want us to have more help and support and for the students to teach them to pay attention and learn more and to have a lot of activities.
Thank you. And now we'll have remarks from Mr. Sean Medlock.
Good afternoon. Um, I want to thank you all for coming to this celebration for this new Adelphi area middle school. This is going to be a great project, and so I'm going to try and keep this very brief, my comments. And so I'm going to give you just a short history. First off, the way this school came about, or this program came about, was through two pieces of legislation. The first being passed by the state, by our state senators leading the way, that gave schools the abilities, counties and schools the ability to partner together to create public-private partnerships. The second was created by our county council after we gave a presentation to them at their retreat, in which they created the work group and established the law that will allow us to actually do this. We got a tremendous amount of support from our county executive and her staff, and from our CEO and our then chief of staff, Christian Rhodes, was there, who's very much a supporter of this program. The county council got behind this. We started the work group. We had members of the work group from the county council, the county executive's administrative staff, and the board, and our administrative offices, and they all got together and we worked together to come up with a solution that provided us this program, which relieves overcrowding, builds new schools where they're needed, and maintains cycle one through doing all that. The reason why we did that The reason why this project has moved forward is because, well, we didn't have enough money to build the schools we want to build. We had a study done in 2014, 2015 that at the time was led by our now CEO, but then COO, Dr. Golson. And at that time, we determined that we needed $8.5 million over 20 years to modernize a very old school system, where right now about 113 of our schools are more than 50 years old. So when you think about that, that's more than half of our inventory. So we use this tool to try and figure out a way to stretch our money so that we could do what we needed to do, because currently we're not getting enough money. We got 160 million, we need $425 million for capital expanse, and we're just not getting it there. So we are using these creative tools in partnership with our county government to spread this out and make better use of our funds, make them more cost effective over time. And I want to thank everybody who supported us through this process, who's run political cover at the county council's office and the county executive's office, and our CEO and our board members who have been very much involved in this. I want to specifically thank some of the members of our work group, because they got in and they dug in and did a lot of work on this. And I'm just going to name them really quickly. That's Sonia Williams, who's a board member, Council Member Galeros, Council Member Todd Turner, Council Member Calvin Hawkins, Council Member Sidney Harrison. I want to thank on my staff, Shayla Taylor Jackson, Elizabeth Chason, and from the county council's office, we had Leroy Maddox, Annette Claggett, Donna Whitman, and we also had Stanley Early, who is very much our OMB director, who's very much involved in this, and Erica Barry Wilson, who's very much involved in this. And also, I would like to thank Denerica Johnson, who helped with procurement and helped move this thing forward in a very expeditious manner. And also, I see Senator Roosevelt came in, and I just want to mention that legislation that created this was his brainchild. And we should give him a round of applause for that work. At this time, I'd like to invite Pamela Buther-Struthers to come up and speak. She's our board member for this area, and she's been very involved in all these projects. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Matlock, and thank you, Mr. Washington, Principal Hill, Ms. Amador. It's so great to be here as the District 3 Board of Education member and future representative of the new Adelphi Middle School. I am also the mother of a rising PGCPS 6th grader who got my start in school construction funding advocacy as an active parent and PTO leader. For these past 6 years, also as a soccer mom, I've spent many hours on the sidelines with PGCPS parents, particularly many from North County communities. It often felt like our game was who could outdo each other on reports of the unacceptable conditions of our 50 to 80-year-old school buildings. Mold causing sickness of both staff and students, broken air conditioning and heat, leaking pipes, asbestos, and the so-called temps that have been taking up play space for decades because of overcrowding. And I'll be honest, at the time it felt easy to point a finger at administration or the Board of Education, as if there was an easy fix. But all of us here today know it was not. But in 2016, everything changed. Then Chief Operating Officer Dr. Monica Goldson oversaw the FY 2017 Educational Facilities Master Plan that finally documented what we were experiencing and introduced the Modernization Cycle Plan to fix it. And I've carried this around for years. It was announced that decades of chronic underfunding of school system requests to the state and county have added up to the $8.5 billion backlog that Mr. Matlock just mentioned. So now parents understood the funding issue. Soon after, Sean Matlock was announced as the Capital Improvement Projects Director, who would bring his energy, experience, and innovative ideas to turn this backlog around. PGCPS provided the massive first step, and then it was in our collective hands as Prince George's County leaders, from the grassroots Adelphi Neighborhood Civic Association to PGCPS parents and student leaders, to our principals and staff, to county council members, to the county executive, to state delegates and senators, and to the PGCPS Board of Education. This body has held many public hearings and cast many votes over the past few years that led to the ultimate approval of the Adelphi Area Over-Enrollment Relief Plan. And then October 2020, the board voted to join the County Council in approval of the Prince George's County Public Schools ACF Package 1 Contract Award. To PGCPS Director of P3 Projects, Jason Washington, and the entire team at Prince George's County Education and Community Partners, I thank you for the outstanding commitment that you have already shown through community involvement in the planning process. And I can't wait to watch these 6 buildings rise over the next 2 years. This morning, as I watched the live stream of the Walker Mill School groundbreaking, Student Representative Marcus Bryant spoke to the essence of what modern, healthy, well-maintained school buildings mean to a community. Marcus shared that when he was in the 5th grade, he heard a whole lot of talk, negative talk from the community, from people who never set foot in Walker Mill Middle. It was clear that he was glad he was a student there. To him, these 6 new schools mean attracting great teachers and staff. It means students excited to go to school and learn. And most important to Marcus, it meant the community will not just know that their community has a middle school. It means they will be proud of it, proud of these schools and the students who attend them. So in closing, I want to give my personal thanks to the elected leaders who I worked most closely with. There are so many others, but over the past 3 years, working with former chair of the board, Dr. Alvin Thornton, current chair, Dr. Miller, Board of Education members, Sonia Williams and Paul Montero, County Council member Daniel Glaros, Senator Malcolm Augenstein, Senator Jim Rosapep, County Executive Angela Alsabrooks, and to my partner, on behalf of the children of District 3, Vice Chair and District 2 County Council member, Denny Taveras, who has poured her heart and soul into the children of this region and to funding of new construction. And finally, to Dr. Goldson, you have changed the narrative about PGCPS and school maintenance and construction, not just for North County soccer moms and dads, but for the entire county. We are grateful to you. Thank you all so much for being here today.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brandy Rogers McDonald. I am the project executive for Prince George's County Education and Community Partners, also known as PGC-ECP, the equity partners in this momentous project. I bring greetings on behalf of one of the partnering entities of PGC-ECP, Fingate Asset Management. At Fingate, we are a leading investor and trusted developer to over 40 infrastructure projects across North America, with a portfolio value of over $15 billion. While we have been a valued member of the infrastructure community in Canada since 2006, we are rapidly expanding our work in the U.S. infrastructure market with several key projects, and we look forward to developing more schools and more infrastructure assets for thriving jurisdictions like Prince George's County, Maryland. Prince George's County, Maryland. We are excited to be a part of this long-awaited day, a milestone that is truly the first of its kind here in the U.S., and we are incredibly thankful to be one of the many partners that are part of the collaborative planning efforts that have brought this historical project to fruition. We are also proud to be a part of the project's $1 million endowed fund supporting scholarships, student internships, mentoring opportunities, and apprenticeships across the county. When this project is complete, the Adelphi community will not only have a beautiful state-of-the-art school for its students and educators, but it will also be one step closer to fulfilling Prince George's County's economic development goals. I would like to take the time to thank those who have helped us reach this milestone, for without your personal investment in the project, we would not be here. First, I would like to thank Prince George's County's executive, Angela Also Brooks, Prince George's County the school board, Dr. Monica Goldson, the PGCPS Chief Executive Officer, the PGCPS executive team, and our key partner from PGCPS, my counterpart in this project, Mr. Jason Washington, the director for the PGCPS Public-Private Partnerships Program. Thank you for believing in us and choosing PGC ECP team to take on this historical project. We are honored to be serving the Prince George's County community and look forward to the continued development of this long-term relationship. To our key partners in this project, we saw them earlier, Gilbane Development Company, Gilbane Building Company, Stantec, Cornet Construction, Warren Builds, Arrel Architects, Honeywell, and a whole host of subcontracting partners. Thank you for your dedication and hard work to the development of this project. We are a team of professionals who take this project and our partnership with PGCPS to heart. We look forward to working with you to deliver this beautiful new school for our future leaders of tomorrow. And finally, to our clients who believed enough in this project to invest in such a historical event here in the U.S. We are grateful for the trust you have placed in Fingate, our investment approach in our projects. So I say to each and every one of you, thank you for allowing us to be a part of this and to be in the number. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Monica Goldson, the proud Chief Executive Officer for Prince George's County Public Schools. Welcome. So today is just one of many days where I am PGCPS proud, not because of just students like Dulce, who you had to hear from earlier today, but just because today is an historic day for us. We, over the next 3 days, are doing groundbreakings for 6 schools, which will be a total of 10 new schools in the county, never before seen in Prince George's County or the state of Maryland. So everyone who's clapping, you're clapping because you're part of that historic day. I can't tell you what it means to learn, teach, and lead in a new school building. But in 2 years, our students will be able to experience it. Our staff, who our principal talked about, who are just extremely caring for our students, have shown us daily that it doesn't matter what the brick and mortar looks like, but it's really who they are and what they give to our students. But we value them so much that we are making an investment in the buildings that they work in, and where magic and innovation will take place in the beginning of 2023. And the new Adelphi Area Middle School is just one of those amazing locations. I promised from the beginning that I would explore and exhaust every avenue possible to get us to today. But it took a bulldozer worth of support in order to get to it. And that's because of an amazing House delegation, Senate delegation, county council, board members, and amazing county exec who all believed in the same vision that we had in PGCPS. An $8 billion backlog would not stop us from getting to today. And while there were many nights I went to bed wondering how today would be possible, there was someone who made today beautiful and hot, who knew that we could get to today. And so I'm blessed that we're all here to see that come to fruition. So without further ado, I thank you for making today possible, for us being able to come here again 2 years from now to walk in a building with loud voices of children, of excitement, and all the magic that will happen in our classrooms. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our amazing leader and county executive, Angela Also Brooks, who is a true champion of education, who does it behind the scenes when there are no lights, who sends me text messages to check on children, who has been here from the very beginning to make sure that we got to today, and who will be here many years to come to see us come to fruition, all of this to come to fruition. So please welcome County Executive Angela Alsop Brooks.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. What a beautiful, beautiful day it is in Prince George's County. It's also very hot, so I'll be short and quick. I do want to thank Dr. Golson. I have to tell you, we are so fortunate in Prince George's County to have a leader whose integrity and whose hard work is without reproach. I think she just makes us look amazing across the state, and we're so lucky to call her our leader. So can we have another round of applause, please, for our CEO? And you know what? She's not alone. There are so many that I could thank. I think, honestly, I could go from this side and travel all across the room to thank so many who have made today possible. You've heard about our amazing county council. I know that our council chair, Calvin Hawkins, will speak to you in just a moment. You've heard also about the school board, and Pamela has spoken already. We want to thank her, Bruiser Struthers, and for her work and for the board. Board Chair Juanita Miller is here as well. I know that you will hear from her. Vice Chair Taveras, thank you so much. Danielle Glaros, and there's just so many others, our state and our delegates and senators. I just want to thank everyone for helping us to get here. I'll just make two quick points. Principal Hill, I think, said it best when she talked about the story that has been created in this amazing school. And that really is why we are here today. The story that we are telling in Prince George's County is a story that will continue for generations. And what I love about the story, and I believe that today is yet another chapter in that story, is that the story, if we write it properly, will not require any narration. The story is so powerfully told that it won't require any words. I think 10 schools in 2 years says it all. It says it all. And these 6 schools that we're building and we have fought so hard to get tells the story. But this is just one part of the story of Prince George's County and the resilience of the people who are here, the brilliance of the people who are here, the love that is here, the grit, the determination that is here. And I think this is yet another part of that story. And then Principal Hill also talked about the fact that we are not here just for the bricks and mortar, that we are so much more than the building. And I think the thing that I'd like to add to that is that today is the manifestation. We understand Principal Hill is absolutely right that we are here because we care about the people who will be inside of that building, these precious children who are our future, don't represent they are our future. The men and women who come into these buildings every day and give it everything they have to love and to teach the children who are here. Yet the building is a manifestation of what we believe about our children and about their future. It is the manifestation about what we believe about our community, because remember that schools represent so much more than just what happens here. It also helps the rest of our community to rise. It invites important investment. It sends a signal to everyone who is watching what we believe about the possibilities that are here. And this particular building, again, says it all, that we believe that the future is bright, could not be any brighter. And I tell you, I'm just so blessed to be a part of today. This building says also that we're growing. I don't know how many of you know, but we're already at 171% utilization on this building. The time is now. There are some who have said during this process, and I'm going to go ahead and sit down, and our council members know it and others know it. Believe it or not, there are some who said maybe we shouldn't proceed right now. We should study it further, wait a minute longer, maybe not now. And we say to those people, the time is now. In fact, the time was yesterday, and we're moving forward, and we're so glad about it. So thank you so much to everyone who made today possible. May God continue to bless each and every one of you, and may God continue to bless Prince George's County. Thank you so much. And I now have the honor of inviting to the podium a man who I just have so much respect for, Senator Malcolm Augustine. And what I love about Malcolm is his humility, his work ethic. He is often the smartest person in the room, but never makes you feel that he is. He just does the work. So Senator Augustine, if you might come up now, we'd like to hear. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam County Executive. I am State Senator Malcolm Augustine, and this is a team sport. This is a team sport, and so that's why I asked that my colleagues from the Maryland General Assembly join me up here, particularly, my colleague, Senator Jim Rosapep, who you have already heard from, Sean Matlock, was the architect of this mechanism, and he often is in the back, as he was right now, on his phone, like he usually is. But it's important that you recognize him and his contribution to this. I ask you to give him a round of applause, please, for that. I'm also joined up here with our delegates. Juanica Fisher, who represents this area of District 47, give her a round. And of course, Delegate Julian Ivey, who is also represented from District 47, and our colleague Diana Fennell, who is represents District 47. But this school, absolutely, let's give them a round. This school and all of these schools are so overdue, and I am just so happy that we are on our way to providing the physical structure that these children deserve. And I am just so grateful for the leadership of Dr. Golson. I am also just so grateful for Sean Matlock, who I worry to death about this project and other projects. Let's give Sean a hand. I'm on him all the time. We all are. And I just say thank you to all of you and to the Board of Education and to the County Council, because this is a team sport. We all work together to get these things done for the people of Prince George's County. I'm proud to be a part of that team. I am overjoyed and happy with this day. So I say thank you, thank you, thank you to all who have made this day come together. I'm going to ask that one of those people, our chair of the County Council, who is next, to come on up here and share his words. He's brief like me, so you all are good with him and me. Thank you so very much, everyone. Thank you.
My colleagues act like they were shy, but they really wanted to come up. I just want to say on behalf of the County Council, to all the staff members that made this day possible, to our state senators, our state delegates, thank you. To our school board, thank you. And to our amazing, amazing, awesome, phenomenal county executive, thank you for your leadership. Dr. Golson, what can we say about you other than thank you for being the awesome individual that a school like Potomac High School could bring to Prince George's County. And in closing, I want to say to all my elected officials, this day represents, along with the other 5 schools, what happens when we work together and collaborate. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, I'm a little short. I want to say thank you to my chair and thank you everybody for coming out. Le quiero decir gracias a todos ustedes que están aquí, en particular los padres que vinieron. Si usted es un padre que va a asistir, su hijo o hija va a asistir a esta escuela, por favor, levántese, porque estamos peleando es por ustedes. For all the parents that are here, please stand up. If your child is going to come to Adelphi Middle, and we need to applaud you for how you worked with me so hard and with Pamela Strother to make this happen. So I'm Council Member Denny Taveras, and I'm Vice Chair and proud council member of this district. I'm sorry, I'm a little emotional because this has been for us #1 priority here for the last 10 years, and we finally made it happen. We have over 100 temporary trailers here in District 2. Some as old as 50 years old. Right here where we stand, in less than a mile from where we sit. Some say that it's because we were not following smart growth practices. I beg to differ. We have not constructed one single building in this area for decades. This is a manifestation of changing demographics over time, cultural practices, and the need for affordable housing. Prior to the last two superintendents, so we must applaud Superintendent Monica Golson in her capacity under those two administrations and leading the charge now. Our community was highly neglected and ignored, politicized. We just did not matter. We had to create the facilities master plan where we were finally able to depoliticize the issue of school construction in 2014 and 2015. And in that way alone, we were able to rise to the top based on need, starting with this building right here. My team and I, working with the community, with the churches, we attended every PTO, every school board meeting, every construction meeting. We rounded up hundreds of people, buses, to advocate for the need for these schools to make our kids a priority in this county. We needed our voices to be heard. And you've heard the trajectory in 2016, the putting together of the Knox Commission, under which right here, Council Member Mel Franklin sat, that created the possibility that a P3 option could be a concrete option in this county, followed by legislation from Senator Rosa Pep, and then closely by with, in 2016, we started working with our council chair then, Council Member Glaros and Todd Turner, to be able to put together a task force to see if P3 here and alternative construction would be a viable option here. We studied it deeply, did the Monte Carlo simulations, analyzed in and out the risks, and said it's doable, affordable, and sustainable. So with that, I can say, and let's talk real talk. Between the state and the county, we had to think of creative ways. No, you're not gonna kick me out, not yet. To build schools despite the lack of funding between the two. The county and state consistently underfund by $125 million annually the needs of construction. So this was the solution. And because of that, we were able to not only address this school, but also Hyattsville Middle, that's 100 years old. But it doesn't stop here. We still have 6 more schools in this area that need to be built. It's a choice, it's not a choice, it's a must do. We have standing to our next less than 0.25 miles from here. You could walk, you could throw a stone to the next building. Children are going from the woods to their school building with another series of temporary trailers. And we need to co-locate Adelphi Elementary with Cool Spring. We have to build 2,500 seats for a northern area high school because we don't have the seats. We do not have the seats, despite what people may think. We have to build High Point. And we need to move those kids to the school, to the new high school, so we could build High Point. We have the International High School at Langley Park that still needs to get done. But if we're gonna move on to the next fight, we need to make sure that we're standing together on this. because we still have Hyattsville Elementary and so many other buildings that still need attention in this district and in this county. So I do want to thank everyone here, Superintendent Monica Golson, Director Sean Matlock, Jason Washington, Bobby Gilbane from the Gilbane Development, the Warner Brothers, Hollywood, everyone here that made this possible to make the school a reality. But the last fight is to ensure that the name of this school reflects the community that attends this school. And the name of the person should be who they are, where they're from, sky's the limit, so that they can identify with that person. They need to know and feel that they are valued, but that's a future conversation. But this is a start. But I commit to you that I will not finish what we started here. I will not finish. I will continue the fight. And Magali, another luchadora, con nosotros en la pelea para crear esta escuela. Magali Salas, thank you for your advocacy here. And with that, that's my promise to you today. We will keep fighting for every single school until it's constructed. Thank you.
I'm going to be very brief, but I'm going to totally change what I was going to say. I just want to say thank you, Councilmember Taveras. You heard that passion? You heard the fight? That is exactly what it took to get us here today. Let's give Councilmember Taveras another big round of applause. She fights for her community, and I want to thank you for that. I'm just going to say, as the chair of our board comes on up, Dr. Miller, this is Team Prince George's County at its finest, right? This is Team Prince George's County. Every single aspect, from the leadership of our county executive, our CEO, our Board of Education, our county council, our state legislature, everybody. This is Team Prince George's County at its best. You know, it's okay to be first. It's okay to be on the cutting edge, right? It's okay to be the innovators. In fact, that's where Prince George's County belongs. And that's really what today is all about. And I say that as a proud Prince George's County parent. I say that as a son of 2 lifelong public school educators. I just wanted to say one quick thing about the investment that's being made here today. There's been a big commitment made to spend our dollars with our minority businesses based here in Prince George's County on this project. I want to say how vitally important that is. When we spend those dollars in communities of color here in Prince George's County, they circulate, they create generational wealth, they grow our tax base so we can what? Invest in more schools like this. So let's keep doing that. Let's keep being innovative. Thank you, everybody. God bless you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Juanita Miller, Chair for the Prince George's County Board of Education, and I stand between you and those shovels, and I'm not going to give a long speech because everyone has said what needs to be said. I'm excited for the students who will be entering the halls of Adelphi School in 2023. And you can be assured that the Prince George's Board of Education is committed to equal opportunity and modernized school facilities for every child. When we build new schools, we fulfill a promise to the students of the future. With that, I say to all who have contributed to the success of getting this project off the ground or on the ground and getting started, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Shovels in the dirt box.
Right.
Yeah, can we get shovels in the dirt box?
Forgot about the groundbreaking part.
Well, there's a lot of y'all. Okay, here we go.
Sorry, Mike.
Want us to throw it? Why not, man? We done came this far.
Count us out.
1, 2, and 3. Look at that. All right. Get my shoes all messed up. All right, what's next, Papa?
John.
Next.